Well, friends of the world, Maldini, I'm throwing a question at you to answer in the comments, and I'm going to give my opinion in this video. Of course, this is a video of pure opinion, pure opinion. The question is the following, and it's very simple. Is Barca the team that plays the best right now in the world? Is Barca a contender for everything? Can anyone stop this Barca? I want to give my opinion on these three questions, whether they are contenders for everything, if they are the team playing the best so far, and what I think from now until the end of the season. I'm going to give my answer, and I'm going to dive into Wisecout as I want to show you quite a few things, but above all, categorically. Yes, yeah, and yes for me. For me, Barca is the team playing the best football in the world right now. For me, they are indeed a strong contender for all competitions as a result of this, which doesn't mean they will win them. But Barca, logically, for me, here we have one of Lewandowski's goals from yesterday. For me, Barca is the team playing the best, having the fastest ball circulation, that is having more depth, that is finishing more, that has more individual breakthroughs, more different players capable of making a difference. All of this is the current Barca. And they demonstrated it against Girona with several players who are not starters. They also crushed Girona and scored against them quite easily. Does that mean they are going to win the league, the Champions League, and the Copa del Rey? Obviously not. On Wednesday, they are going to play that return match against Atletico de Madrid. It's true that they have scored 8 goals in 2 matches against Atletico de Madrid and Barca in their last 2 games. Tonight, you will have the predictions for the 2 semifinals, which I will comment on Movistar, by the way. But logically, it doesn't guarantee that they will win anything. Barca. But for me, right now, it is indeed the team that is playing the best, both in the Champions League and in the league. And they are favorites for everything. They are a strong contender for everything, in my opinion. The only team that can come close, or that actually comes close, in fact, because they do come close, in fact, to Barca's level, is for me PSG under Luis Enrique. For me, the only team that, from a collective, harmonious point of view, in terms of play, the ability to play in different scenarios, counterattack with speed, dominate, and apply high pressure without the ball, the only similar team that can resemble Barca is PSG. That's what I think. I insist, which doesn't guarantee, not at all, that it will win all the competitions it plays, because football, logically, when it reaches these levels, is decided by details. And although Barca has the best players right now, and from a collective point of view, enough to win matches, because they have them in all positions, or almost all positions, this does not guarantee that you will win. Of course, it does not guarantee that you will win. In La Liga, you have more chances because it is a long-distance race, but in the Champions League, a bad day can leave you out. And let's not even mention the Copa del Rey. With only one return match and a possible final left, it logically does not guarantee it. But the treble for Barca right now, and I truly mean it, the treble for Barca is quite reasonable, especially considering that Dani Olmo is injured. And even with Dani Olmo's injury, the team does not suffer. I want you to see some things, some concepts. Let's first look at the Spanish League. Here we are in the Spanish League, friends of the world, Maldini. And here we have Spanish League 24-25. The one with the most goals is Barca, 20 goals, more than Real Madrid. And let's not even mention that it's 31 goals more than the third place. Of course, expected goals, 68.89. They have 82, meaning they are a bit above what they should be, Maybe their scoring level might drop a little from now until the end of the season. I'm not saying it won't, of course, the one with the most points. And something that I find very important, look, the average age, this really seems to me a topic. The team that is leading, that is doing better than anyone else in the Spanish League, is the team with the lowest average age. I find this very important. The team with the lowest average age in the league, so far 24.8, here you have it. Valencia with 25, Real Sociedad with 25.1, Espanyol with 25.5, and Valladolid with 25.5, the same as Espanyol. The youngest team in the Spanish League by average age is Barcelona. And I think this is very important when considering the immediate future of Barca in a future in the medium or long term. More ball possession. Of course, Barca. That's how it is. Friends of the world, Maldini, you are seeing it. And if you want, we can also look at the attack, because the team that makes the most touches in the penalty area is also Barca. The team that takes the most corners is Barca. Madrid has been awarded more penalties than... Well, Barca is not among the top 5 in penalties awarded. Let's expand this out of curiosity to see this. Here we have the penalties. Madrid 11 in favor, and Barca has been awarded 6, the same as Mallorca and Leganés. I'm not saying anything with this. It's just a detail that has sparked my curiosity. Logically, We have seen the attack, and if we also look, of course, at the passes, we are talking about the Spanish league, the passes, the shots, the team that shoots the most. Here you have it, the team that dribbles the most, the team that makes the most touches in the penalty area, as we have seen before. All of that is Barca. And if we go to game construction, let's look at passes, although, well, we can imagine it. The team that makes the most passes is Barca. Second is Real Madrid. Third is Girona, the team that makes the most through passes. This is very important. Notice it makes almost 100 more through passes than Real Madrid. Why? Because it is a team that no longer limits itself to having the ball just for the sake of it, but it has depth. And in this, Flick's work has a lot to do with it. The team that makes the most key plays, the team that makes the most passes into the final third, well, long passes logically wins. Getafe. And then the team with the most off-the-ball runs and the team with the most progressive passes. Madrid, if they are beaten in deep runs, it has a lot to do with the speed of the wingers. All of that is true. Friends of the world, Maldini. We are seeing all of this with Barca, and we are seeing the difference it makes in the league, which is not so much reflected in the points. I have the feeling that there is a greater difference between Barca and Real Madrid than the 3 points shown in the standings, but they currently have players who are unstoppable. One of them is Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is the absolutely unstoppable player in the championship and worldwide. Raphinha, what Raphinha is doing, of course, what he is doing. Lewandowski, top scorer and contender for the Golden Boot. Logically, that has a lot to do with what the team is generating from behind. All of that is, of course. In short, right now, there is no team for me that can compare with Barca except for Paris Saint-Germain. I want us to look at it because this is indeed important. And here, logically, it is no longer the same. Now, what you are going to see is in the Champions League. This is already in the Champions League, not in the league. Obviously, Barca is the team that has scored the most goals in the Champions League, 32 compared to Bayern Munich's 25. Bayern Munich has more expected goals than Barca. Indeed. And in points, if we can call it that, the same as Inter and one more than Liverpool. And we are also going to see the number of passes in the Champions League. Here we need to clarify. Since I have it, I'm going to show it to you, but here we need to clarify. One thing that is very evident is that Barca has played 2 fewer matches than PSG, Bayern, Leverkusen, and Real Madrid in the Champions League. Because they didn't have to play the playoff. These 4 teams did play it, which means they have fewer passes. I think it could be more or less average. It should be with PSG and Bayern Munich. I don't think there's a big difference. It's something I wanted to show you, but here, of course, logically, if we talk in absolute terms, Barca has played 2 fewer matches than most teams, or the teams that are at the top. For example, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. In the end, all of that, logically, Borussia Dortmund itself, in the end, all of that logically makes us see that these data are no longer so clear. But, well, I wanted to show them to you. But those from La Liga are very evident. Those from the Champions League, too. You've already seen it. Friends of Mundo, Maldini. And as I said, even playing 2 fewer matches than several of the teams, they have scored quite a few more goals in the Champions League. And that seems definitive to me because of how they are attacking and what Barca is doing. In short, Barca is at a stratospheric level right now with a player who is currently the main emblem, which is this one, of course, the Lamine Yamal, and the sensational level it is at. And we will see what happens from now until the end of the season, because the season is in the decisive, thrilling, spectacular phase. And Barca is at the forefront of everything. For me, it is the best right now. From there to winning the treble, the coveted treble, that already there is quite a difference. We will see what happens. And what is certain is that we are going to enjoy it here with you in the world of Maldini. A hug. Bye.